This set of runs had it all: straight wins, crushing defeats, and some of the most vicious battles for the top 3 I'd encountered so far. What was missing was consistency. There's no other way to sum this up than it was all over the place. You'll get what I mean in just a moment. Welcome back to the WipEout Gauntlet. Truth be told, I didn't know what to expect going into this one. This wasn't a good start. Bit risky using a turbo around here if you're in a heavy ship. That was worth a try at least. I was glad to have that pain in the ass out of the way. I'd made considerable progress. Did I still have a chance here? It didn't seem that way from the looks of things. I felt doubty doing that. One big thing that pisses me off about jump starts is that if you get one, someone's almost always in the way, and you don't get the most out of said jump start. In no time at all, I was back at square one. This was good. I got myself in a decent position, and I had enough time to chase the rest of the pack down. I just needed to keep things under control. I was hoping that turbo would have done a bit more. I wanted to save that missile for the guy in third. This worried me a bit. Could you call that a narrow victory?
Perk wheel unlocked.
This is the perk wheel, a feature created to provide second chances. With each passing milestone, the perk wheel will be updated. If the fail cap limit is reached, one spin is granted for a chance to win a perk. Not everything on this wheel is a perk, mind you. Without certain handicaps in play, things just become too easy.
This was doable. That much I knew. Just a little ways into the race, something hit me. For some reason, on Rapier class, the handling on Oricom ships is just shit. It's more sluggish and heavy than the handling in Kirek ships, and that's saying something. Did you see the faffing about I had to do to avoid screwing that up? Clearly staying in the top 3 wasn't going to be easy.
Panic mode activated.
Needed less stress, got the opposite. I was under serious pressure now. That was a close call. Finally, something a bit less annoying. Bell end. What goes around came around in this situation. Though the climb was gradual, it showed no signs of stopping. There's always someone who has to be a pain in the ass. I may have called that sort of thing evil before, but when my buttons get pushed, I tend to forget about these things. Despite some rough, I was loving this. I saw that. One cheeky tosser who wanted to give me something to worry about. Just when I thought this couldn't get any better. What the hell is with this victory pose? First time I got first in a while. Forgot how good it felt. No complaints from me. Everything was going so well until that happened, but I wasn't out of this yet. The both of them just sodded right off. There's no way I could have gotten clear of that in time. That was definitely unexpected. Last stretch. Also the same place where things tend to go wrong for me. My finger was hovering over the fire button, just waiting for someone to ruin things. Three for three. Third time's the charm. Didn't think so. But now I had a way out of situations like this.
Time trial pass awarded.
The time trial pass. As the name suggests, this is a time-based challenge. Quite a few rewards can be won here. But there's more to this than you think. I'll explain it bit by bit. But first we need to get a benchmark time. That will be chosen from the best of the following 3 runs. This is the time margin. It's not about trying to beat the benchmark time. It's about getting as close to it as possible. There's a 5-second gap on either side. Get past this spot and you win the pass. That is required for victory. Getting past this spot will win 10 bonus attempts. Getting past this spot will double that. Landing on the benchmark time itself leads to a special reward. I'll explain the details when one is won. Now we move to the 5 seconds over the benchmark time. Going past this spot will take 10 attempts away from the 21 in the other section. Going past this spot will take the remaining 10 away. Going past this spot will take the pass away, leading to a fail, and the 4 attempts used here will be deducted from the current total. Now it's time for the pass run.
3, 2, 1.
Congratulations.
Maybe this won't be so bad, I thought to myself.
3, 2, 1, go!
Smashing start, literally. What else could I do in that situation? Someone just couldn't take a hint. So far, so good. But in order to keep this up, I had to give this the beans. That would have been perfect if that slope wasn't in the way. In speed pads we trust. I knew this climb wasn't going to be that easy. Mess with the bull, you get the horns. I got nothing for that. Dealing with that was starting to hurt my chances. Right as I was losing hope. I had a tough job now, trying to keep third while an annoying nemesis breathes down my neck. That went well. I may not have been using a ship with shitty handling this time, but it still felt like the odds were stacked against me.
3,
I came prepared. This was taking the piss a bit. I don't get how this was going wrong. Just when I thought I'd lost sight of fifth. How the hell? Because of how bad this was going, trying to guess the end result is a no-brainer.
3, 2, 1, go!
What a waste of a set of minds. As you can clearly see, I was somewhat impatient. Just when things were starting to look up. Entering lap 2 progress was good, and then it wasn't.
3, 2, 1, go!
I was waiting for the right moment to use this turbo. One of the few times I actually learned from my mistakes. This looked good. Half the pack was dealt with. Would that mean anything, though? That's such a simple turn, and I've found a way to screw it up more than once. Well, that was pointless. At long last, I finally had some luck. The luck in question was not around for long.
Attention! This video is being interrupted to deliver a quick message. This video will now transition to normal commentary, now returning you to the action.
3, 2, 1, go!
If I wasn't pissed off before, I was now. Trying to turn this around seemed impossible. I stood corrected. For a while anyway.
3, 2, 1, go!
I was loving this so far. Despite some rough, my previous statement still stands. This was fantastic. All I really needed to do now was hold the line. And try not to fuck things up either. Things on the track seem so quiet. Missile at the ready, just in case. I believe circumstances like this require a name. Any of you guys got some good ideas? Let me know in the comments. That was kinda boring. At least I got what I wanted out of that. Worked for me. Hearing that faint explosion was a relief. I thought that was coming for me. A minor setback, but that wasn't going to stop me. Yeah, I don't think so. Some people just don't learn.
Shockwave.
I was on a roll. It was now time to go on defense. At this point, this seemed like a sure thing. Nothing lifts spirits more than a landslide win. If I could do this on Rapier class, Venom would be a walk in the park.
3, 2, 1,
Almost had that. What a git. Last thing I needed in the position I was in. That thing, ladies and gentlemen, is one of my worst enemies in the whole series. The pickup drone. You just saw why I fucking hate this thing. And because of that, it took me ages to catch up to the rest of the pack.
3, 2, 1,
What a twat! Everything was going so well. Claim fourth in one swift move. From here I had a choice. Keep third or chase the rest of the pack down. Why didn't I just use the turbo on the straight? No choice this time. I knew what the assignment was. I should have waited until I had a clearer shot. Well, that didn't work. That was just pathetic. It was time to hold the line again. I've never seen Kelsolar's victory pose before. Bit random, but whatever. It took 2 tries to get victory on Terramax on both speed classes using Kelsolar. I don't know what to make of that. I got victory here on Venom using Sofia de Laurenti. I could do it again with Paul Jackson, right? Sadly not, so let's see what the part wheel had to say.
Respin awarded. No pack.
Well, that was the additional snooker cue to the bollocks that I didn't need. This was going to be far from easy.
3, 2, 1, go!
This was getting rough. Someone tell me how that made sense? Things were looking good. Had 4th, but that was the highest I could get.
3, 2, 1, go!
Looking back at it, that block could have stopped something bad from happening. The door just got fucking slammed on me. That was a last minute move. I shouldn't have done that, but I'm glad it paid off. Keeping fourth was going to be difficult, let alone trying to reach the top 3. See what I mean? This was annoying me. Priority wasted on the wrong people. I didn't like what I was hearing. Words alone cannot describe the severity of this cock-up. There's only one thing I can say about the cock-up from earlier. It sealed my fates.
3, 2, 1, go!
Perfect. I was just hitting anything and everything. Just what I wanted. An Oricon pilot in between 2 Kyrex pilots. That's not a fucking pretty picture. Only people who know the backstory of WipEout will get that one. And yes, this series has lore. You fucking dickheads! It became very clear that my goose was cooked. And it was.
3, 2, 1, go!
Now this is what I called a strong start. Okay, no biggie. I could still do this. The door got slammed on me again. I was where I wanted to be, but would history repeat itself? This run was just bad. Took 7th, didn't take 6th until nearly halfway into lap 3, took 5th just before I crossed the finish line. Like I said, bad. I don't know how I fell so far behind. It was just getting to a point where that wasn't pissing me off anymore. This wasn't good. The one in 4th managed to get so stupidly far ahead that I didn't see them again until much later. Upon seeing this, my determination grew. 3rd was mine, and I wanted to make sure it stayed mine. My finger was over the fire button, ready for the next person who wanted to try anything stupid. What an ordeal. I certainly didn't have a problem with this. If I didn't hit the side, that would have been a clean shot. I fucking hate shockwaves sometimes. At least it was manageable this time. That time around, my aim was just crap. Holy shit, that was close. Deja vu. Once again, I knew the assignment. I should have saved that for something. Why didn't I? Just for good measure. That was really needed.
Attention! This video is being interrupted to deliver a quick message. This video will now transition to text-to-speech commentary. Now returning you to the action.
This seemed like a slam dunk.
3, 2, 1, go!
That left me lost for words.
Shockwave. Missile.
I wasn't expecting to suddenly jump to fourth. Color me surprised.
Rocket. Missile.
Knew that was coming, so I braced for impact. He almost had me. This put a smile on my face. Losing third took the smile away. Now it was time to get serious. 2 for 2, again. We've been here several times now, so I chose to speed this one up. Three for 3, again. Yet another 180. Already the odds weren't in my favor. Finally, something had gone my way. I had a lot of work to do if I wanted to get something out of this. As if I didn't have enough to worry about. I didn't like what was happening. Why didn't I steer clear of those? I was just asking for a loss at this point. A ship I could barely control just made this so much worse. At least something good came from that. Never mind. Got 5th back, but that didn't earn me any bragging rights. This run hadn't had the best of starts either. Just when I thought my luck had changed. To a certain extent, it looked like I was getting the hang of the crappy handling. There's always one dickhead. Aiming was good, timing was bad. Quite the struggle I'd endured so far, but I needed to keep pressing on. See previous statement. This just took the fucking piss. Following that, it became clear my chances were spent. That's one way to overtake someone. I wanted to use that for something else. Okay, this time it was my fault. I was not expecting to catch up to the pack so quickly. To catch up to the rest of the pack, I needed to put the hammer down. I was about to lose hope until I saw this. Once again, I learned from my mistakes. My determination kicked into high gear. If I could regain all my lost progress and then some, I might just have a chance to reach third.
Missile.
It was time for a quick getaway. It was now time to make sure this effort wasn't for nothing. This was extremely tense. The one I snatched third from is a nemesis of mine. At least I didn't have to endure this shit for long. I was in for one serious ass kicking.
3, 2, 1, go! Shockwave.
I took that turn way too early. I feel like that took longer than it should have. That, on the other hand, took less time than I thought. Would the fact I caught up to and claimed fifth in no time be a sign of things to come? This run was easily the worst of the lot. This run did the usual get 7th, get 6th, get 5th finish in 5th routine. On this run, I was able to clear half the pack in less than 30 seconds, but that was all I was able to do.
3, 2, 1, go!
Throughout this, I've been trying to use nudges to my advantage.
Missile. Rocket.
Textbook overtake. Half the pack in one lap. Didn't know if that meant anything yet. That time I think I was just lucky. This looked like it was going to end the same way it usually does. This got my attention. That took less time than I thought. I was worried this would take more than one visit. I'm just so glad it didn't. I was about to trade one trial for another. Not sure if I had time to move. That looked like it was going to be ugly. That was a stunning shot. Knew it was only a matter of time. I wasn't doing myself any favors. Everything I want, so close I could almost touch it. Honestly, I wasn't too pissed off about this. That cheeky bitch.
Missile.
Aerial Tetsuo seem to be giving me the most trouble so far.
Mine.
A little too close for my liking. That didn't seem to have an effect either way.
Shockwave. Missile. Missile.
That's just adding insult to injury.
Shockwave.
Some people. Talk about a shaky landing. Those mines certainly did the trick. One of the few times where the fault is my own. Here, have a taste of your own medicine. Had a funny feeling that was going to happen.
Missile. Rocket.
If I didn't have to deal with any more crap from the people behind me, then I had a good chance for victory. That looked like it was going to be a problem. So damn close. This looked a bit rough in spots, but so far things were looking good. I was just being taunted with what I wanted at this point. That was almost 2 perfect shots in a row. I finally had what I wanted, just had to not fuck this up. Not good. That just annoyed me further.
Line.
Fucking twat. I don't know how I managed to pull that off. Took a hit, but soldiered on. Someone tell me what the hell that was about. Once again, things get simple in theory, not so much in execution. That was just the icing on the cake. Got bumped down to 3rd. No big deal. What? This was the type of start I wanted to see. This level of progress in so short a time is insane. Didn't suffer from that too badly. That was the main thing. Why did I do that? I don't think so. I loved how this was going. Would this be the one? That was just peachy. My jaw hit the floor. This was one of those what the fuck moments. As if this wasn't pissing me off enough.
3, 2, 1, go! Shockwave. Shockwave. Missile. Shockwave. Mine. Rocket. Missile.
Like I said, one trial for another. This was going to tear me a brand new hole. I could tell already.
The pack wheel will be disabled in the last race in favor of a substantial reward that awaits if victory is achieved.
3, 2, 1, go! Missile.
Told you. This episode was nothing short of a roller coaster. At least a few things went right in the midst of all that. Part of me was worried I'd have to use the perk wheel for everything once it was unlocked. I'm so glad I didn't have to. If anyone wants to get shitty in the comments because I've put that in, I won't listen to a single word they say until they do this themselves. If anyone enjoyed this episode, I'm glad to hear that. Little things like that do make all the work that gets put into these worthwhile. The halfway mark is only just in reach. I'm just hoping things are more straightforward getting to it from where I currently sit. It'll be great to have you guys along for the ride either way. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, so long.